Howdy y'all, Das Mervin here. It's not so much a triumphant return as much as it is an update as to what will be going on when I make my triumphant return, which will hopefully be next week. Yeah, just a short break. You guys didn't really miss anything because I can't stay away from my Sporkings because I want to finish them. And here's the reason I want to finish them. I was looking at all the stuff I get comments on, the biggest draws for you guys. And I know for a fact that it's the Twilight recaps. I'm not stupid. That's the biggest draw. And you know what? I know why, too. Fanfic, it's easy to make fun of, and particularly the ones I go after. I go after the big epic ones, where the soothers behave, like an ass. Those are the ones I go for. Because it's, you don't feel as bad going after a soother who acts like a pompous jerk and who tells you you just don't understand their great work and you're just an idiot, you're just jealous. Why don't you go write something if you're so good? You have no right to criticize me because you haven't written anything. You feel better going after those idiots. And yeah, I don't feel guilty going after people like Gethsemane. I really don't. I'm going to say it honestly that way. But fanfic is one thing. They're not getting paid for that. They're being jerks, but they're not getting paid. Stephanie Meyer's getting paid. She gets paid a lot every time someone buys a book. She is rolling in ill-gotten gains, as it were. And that's just heartbreaking. So I know that's why it's a bigger draw to rip these things apart that people are such fans of. They love this series so much. And a lot of you guys were so flattering in that post telling me that I was one of the most thorough recaps you've ever seen. And thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And that was what I set out to do when I started recapping Twilight, was to be as thorough as possible. Because I've read a whole lot of Twilight recaps. I've watched a whole lot of Twilight recaps. And so many of them miss the biggest things that are wrong with this series. The biggest thing people miss when I've seen not very many reviews of Midnight Sun, not enough. But you want to know the only review I've ever seen point out the line where Edward says offhand, you know what? If I wanted to, I could go commit genocide. The only review I've ever seen mention that line? Mrs. Hyde's. Yeah. Do people just skim over that line? And it's the reviews I've seen are just full of that. So that's what I set out to do, and I'm very happy it's working. Thank you. But I know that it's way too long-winded. It would never make it, on a succinct site. But I've decided I'm not going to just abandon the projects I've got going in the Sporking fanfic department, but I think those might be my last. Because I've been looking for new material in fanfic. And my god, it's all the same. People are getting more and more unoriginal. You'd have to go to the old school badfic to spork this stuff, and I tend to target epic stuff, therefore it takes a lot out of me to spork this stuff. It really does. Like, the only targets I could think of going after off the top of my head right now of fandoms I know would be like Celebrian. 1, Celebrian's been sporked by a lot of people. 2, even it gets boring and repetitive towards the end. I mean, jeez. Okay, yes, and then Celebrian screwed the York King. And then they screwed her boobs. And then she gave hand jobs and blow jobs and just, oh man. It's so mechanical towards the end, it's just not worth sporking. Even Celebrian, which is regarded as one of the most horrifying fics in existence, gets boring and repetitive to me. That's how kind of hardened I am towards fanfic these days. So I figure, time to move on. I've done my springboard in sporking, as it were. Time to come into the real world, as it were. The Twilight recap is a gateway, it seems. So probably in a few months, not immediately, so don't look around for this, and definitely not look around for a new book. I'm not doing any books, new books, until Twilight is finished. because I can't do 2 books at once. It's impossible. Twilight takes a lot out of me. However, I'm hoping to add movie reviews. That's right. They'd just be written, and they'd be agony booth style recaps, because I can't do anything concisely. So, if you've ever seen an agony booth recap, they basically go down, review it very long, recap the action, show you some pictures, they sometimes caption the pictures with funny quotes, etc., that sort of thing. So, that's what I'm hoping to go for. I'll probably start out with the Twilight movie, because it'd be a good companion piece to the first recap I ever did of a book. So I'll probably do all those, and I don't know, maybe in a year or two, I would eventually like to move into actual video reviews of movies and video discussions, not just voice posts. But when it comes to a video review, I don't have the means, I don't have a camera, I don't have the video editing software. All I've got is Windows Movie Maker. That's what I make these posts in. So I am completely defunct when it comes to technology needed to make a video review. So don't look for that anytime soon. I don't even know, I'm jumping between wanting to just get in front of the camera and review a movie and wanting to stay away from it. But ultimately, I would not show my face, because it's kind of a touchy subject with my family. We don't like to put our faces out in public like that, especially not on the internet. Long story, not gonna tell you. But I do have a method I would use if I really just had to get in front of the camera and do motions or something, because I know you can't just show clips from the movies, you'd get yanked, and all I've got is a YouTube account, and it's not even bought. So it all depends, but definitely there will be Agony Booth recaps in a few months. After I get my first job, I'm going to be getting into that soon. Yes, I'm going to be getting my first job very soon. I'm excited and scared. But when I get settled and when I get things going, hopefully I can start up with those kinds of reviews. Speaking of first job, I will drop a line when that happens, because the site, the Sporking may go a little dead, because I'll be concentrating on work and trying to learn how to do that, because I don't know if I'm going to be in transcription first or coding first. Just depends on where I can get a job, and depending on where I get a job, I may have to move. I'd like to get one right where I am now. There is a hospital nearby that I could go to, but I may have to go into the city, and given gas prices and Oklahoma winters, which is when I'd be getting a job in an Oklahoma winter, I would want to be near it, so I may be moving. And I will tell you when that's happening, so don't worry. But there may be absolutely no updates, even by the ones that I've got backup material on, but I'll drop you a line for that one. So basically, that's all I wanted to tell you. Those are the updates happening. The Sporkings you're seeing now that are updated, the series, those may very probably be the last ones I ever do, because I'm realizing the bigger draw, and the ones that entertain you guys the most, and that's what I ultimately aim to do. So hopefully, I've already got a new book series picked out, a new book as well. I'm not sure if I want to do the host too. I've looked at that one, and it just bores me. I've only gotten like 6 chapters in, and those chapters are tiny. And I'm just going, what the hell is this? It's just one of those things. I don't think I can make it funny, because it's just so boring. So boring, and again, the same thing. It'd be like Sporking Gethsemane over and over again. Ugh. You guys don't want to see that. Besides, Shalina is doing a fantastic Sporking of the host. I'd recommend that. You can find a link to it through Zelda Queen. So that's it. That's our things to look out for, things that are going to be happening. I will make an announcement, hopefully on Monday, as to when the Sporking update schedule, the new one. Hopefully I'll be having something on every day, just a different fanfic every day. Until I get the New Moon one back up and running, until I get Chibi's chapter back, that one's still on hold. But hopefully that will be starting up soon. Thanks you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being patient and understanding. Thank you for all your wonderful compliments. and I will continue to make little posts like this with other updates that I'm planning on doing for the site uh, whenever I get around to them. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you on the dark side of the moon.